topic is from sequences. Lesson objective is to understand a linear sequence and to make the n-term formula of a linear sequence. The learning pathway for the day is, first you should know how to identify a linear sequence by identifying what is the constant difference or the constant term that's being either added or subtracted to a linear sequence. So looking for the next number which is being added or subtracted. The second part is where you are asked to make a sequence with the formula given. The third one is to find the formula for the sequence. You will have a sequence, a linear sequence given to you, and you will be asked to find the n-term rule. So let's start with the first part. Next number, look what is being added or subtracted. Now here, if you're asked to complete these blanks, you should know what is being added or subtracted. Now you can see every time the first sequence is pretty simple. Every time you're adding a +2, so you call the common difference here as a +2. And always remember, D is given by the second term minus the first term. Or if you just name the first term as U1, the second as U2, U3. So if you're trying to label it U1, U2, U3, your D, the common difference, will be U2 minus U1. So that is one thing that you have to take note of. So this is 35 and 40 because every time I'm adding a +5. Now here it's a +3. So you have 14 and 17. Here it's a +4. So you have 17 plus 4 giving you a 21 and 21 plus 4 giving you a 25. Now in this case you can see that it's a decreasing sequence where the numbers are falling from 17, 12, 7, 2. So D is going to be 12 minus 17 giving you a negative value. So here the constant number is -5. So every time you're subtracting, so the next term -5 is going to be -3, and you have -8. Similarly, this is also a reducing term. So you subtract 2.5 every time to find the value. So here you have -2.5 giving you 8. And a -2.5 again giving you a 5.5. This is the first part where you are asked to find the missing term, or you're asked to fill the remaining blanks of a linear sequence. Going on to the next topic. Now here the n-term rule will be given to you. For example, 2n plus 7. So in this case, if you're asked to find the first term, you have to just substitute as shown. In place of n, for the first term, your n is going to be 1. And you can see that n is getting replaced by 1. And you get the answer, which is the first term, as 9, 2 plus 7. If you're asked to find the second term of the sequence, you just substitute n equals 2. So 2 times n gives you 4, 4 plus 7 making it 11. Similarly, you can find the terms of the sequence by just replacing the value for n. So from this we have to realize that n here is defining the position of the term. So for this is the terms of the sequence. So n equals 1 is giving you the first term. N equals 2 is giving you the second term. 3, when n is 3 you get the third term, and when n is 4 you get the fourth term. Now what if you're asked to find the 100th term of the sequence? So in this case your n is going to be 100, and 2 times 100 plus 7 giving you a 207. This was the second part, making a sequence with the formula. Now it's your turn. 2 simple questions, try to solve them. Now we are moving on to the last topic where you are going to make a formula for the given sequence, and let's see how can that be done. Making the n term formula. You have a sequence 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. The first step is to find the first difference, and in this case you have a plus 3, so every time you're adding 3 to get the next term. So here 3 is called as the common difference or the first difference of this linear sequence. To make the n term rule, now the step 1 that you have already done is to find the common difference. So here my common difference is 3. Now you have to write the difference as 3n, and the next step is to look for how to get the first term of the sequence. You have written the common difference along with the n, you write 3n, and from 3, the number 3, how can you get the number 2? Now you know you have to subtract a 1 from 3 to get a 2. So your final rule looks like this. So this is your answer. Now if you want, you can just do a cross-checking for the second term. Okay, for the second term, I'll be putting n equals 2. So 3 times 2 minus 1, I have 6 minus 1, 5, which is my second term. So this is the rule, and if you're asked to find the 100th term, just substitute for n and you get the answer. Let's do one more example. Find the n term rule for the sequence below. -1, -4, -7, -10. Now here, be careful when you're looking for the common difference. It's a second term, so I'll take -4 minus -1. So -4 plus 1, because I have a negative here and a negative inside the brackets. So it turns out to be plus, and -3. So every time you are subtracting a 3 here, or if you don't feel confident, you can check again. -7 minus -4. See here, you have two negatives, so -7 plus 4 giving you a -3. So it's the same thing. It's a constant difference that you have. So the first step is to write -3n. That's how your rule is going to start. And from -3, how can you get a -1? Now -3 plus what number gives you a -1? It's just a linear equation if you can solve. So x is going to be -1 plus 3, which is a 2. So from -3 to get a -1, you have to add 2. So the rule for the n term looks like this. -3n plus 2 is your answer. Now it's your turn. Try to solve the questions given here, and I'll be sharing the answers with you.